This is the Domino's Pizza NFL on NBC Halftime Report, brought to you by Domino's Pizza. For hot and wow, call Domino's. Now.
Welcome, everyone, to our studios in New York, along with Cris, Collinsworth, Mike Ditka, Joe Gibbs. I'm Greg Gumbel. Here are the scores and highlights as they stand now. We will begin with the game that you are watching. The Broncos are leading New England by a score of 24-0 at halftime. You know, maybe a little controversy as far as that early play. Bill Parcells calling for the fake punt. Number one, did you like it, Joe? Number two, did it surprise you?
Well, it didn't surprise me. Parcells, this is part of his game in big games. I mean, this guy, Mike will tell you, fake field goal, fake punts, that's just part of what he likes to do. I think he tried to shake him up early. I think what we still have here is the problem of a mismatch, and Mike said, hey, New England had to run the football. Right now they haven't.
Mismatch in your mind too, Mike?
Well, it's really just a blowout. I mean, they're doing everything they want to do. I mean, Denver's running the football. They're passing the football. They're stopping the run. They're covering the pass. They're playing good on special teams. They're doing just about everything they have to do.
You know, you've got to wonder, though, if Bill Parcells early in that first quarter didn't know that this was going to be sort of a shootout, and wonder about his defense's ability to stop John Elway, because certainly in the first half, they have not been able to do that.
All right, guys, in Philadelphia, the Redskins playing the Eagles and leading Philadelphia. The score there is 10-7. In Buffalo, the Bills with a 21-7 lead on the Cincinnati Bengals, thanks to Bills owner Ralph Wilson. Cleveland's Dawg Pound has resurfaced on Browns Fan Appreciation Day. 14-0 Buffalo, second quarter. Kelly's pass picked off by Ashley Ambrose, returned 31 yards for the touchdown. Ambrose, the NFL leader in interceptions with 8. It was 14-7, but watch Jeff Blake's lateral to Kajana Carter. It is fumbled. The loose ball picked up by David White. He returns 11 yards for a touchdown, and the Bills with a 21-7 lead. Cincinnati doing some things that they haven't done the last couple of weeks.
They're making mistakes, but you have to say that the Buffalo Bills are forcing those mistakes. Thurman Thomas in the running game, they've been running right through the Cincinnati Bengals, and this Buffalo Bills defense led by Bruce Smith. Bruce wasn't happy with his contract. This guy's going to get big dough. He's been tearing up the National Football League this entire year.
All right, Cris, in Kansas City, the Chiefs hosting the Chicago Bears, leading the Bears 14-7. In Pittsburgh, the Steelers, losers last week, come back a little angry this week. They're leading Jacksonville 14-0. Bill Cowher Steelers looking to avenge a loss to the Jaguars they suffered in Week 1. Mike Tomczak, 12 yards. Yancey Thigpen, diving catch in the end zone, 7-0. Pittsburgh. Next possession, Mark Brunell sacked. Loses the football. Joel Steed recovers for Pittsburgh at the 3. The very next play, Jerome Bettis gets the call and the 3-yard touchdown, his 10th of the season, and the Steelers lead it 14-0. Steelers have refocused, Joe.
Well, I think the Steelers win with defense. Everybody, and really late in the second quarter in this game, an amazing stat. The Jaguars had 68 yards total offense, 50 yards on penalties. They're playing sloppy, and they just can't match up with Pittsburgh's defense.
All right, the Silverdome in Pontiac, Michigan. The Detroit Lions are trailing the Seattle Seahawks. The score there is 10-7. Wayne Fonts with owner William Clay Ford before the game. Detroit losers of 4 in a row. First possession for Seattle, Lamar Smith. Got the start today over Chris Warren. Takes it in from a yard out. 7-0 Seahawks. 10-0 in the second when Barry Sanders took the handoff from Don Mikowski. Goes in from 11 yards out. His 7th touchdown of the season. Lions move to within 3 at 10-7, and that's how they stand at halftime. Mike?
Well, you know, again, Barry Sanders has a 6-yard average. They gave the ball 9 times in the first half. Now, I realize you're on a course for 20 times a game. This guy's got to handle the ball 25 to 30 times a game. They're going to be in every football game if they do it. But they want to get into too many shootouts, too many passing games. Give the ball to Barry. Relax. You'll win the game.
Lions on a 4-game losing streak. Seattle has won 3 straight. In Indianapolis, the Colts with a 10-9 lead on the New York Jets. Adrian Morrell trying to become the first Jet to rush for 1,000 yards since Freeman McNeil did it in '85. Frank Reich to Jeff Graham. 5-yard touchdown here. No. He goes up in the air and ruled out of bounds. Rich Kotite didn't agree with the call. Colt injuries continue to mount. Jim Harbaugh, bruised left hand. Oh, he said dislocated finger. Hit on the release. He was temporarily replaced by Paul Justin, but he came back. Harbaugh on the next Colts series hit Sean Dawkins for a 37-yard gain. That set up a 2-yard touchdown run by Lamont Warren. That put the Colts up 10-3. But before halftime, from 52 yards away, Frank Reich over the middle. And Jeff Graham says, see you later. The extra point was no good, but the Jets get a touchdown, and the score is 10-9. Colts with the lead over the Jets. In St. Louis, the Rams, big win last week. They lead the Panthers by a touchdown, 10-3. And in Atlanta, the Falcons with a 17-3 lead on New Orleans. Up next, we'll check in with our 2 doubleheader games, Miami at Houston and Baltimore at San Francisco. First, these words from your local station.
On an all-new Wings, Joe lost the airline. Now he's losing his mind.
Just a freaking nutkin.
Then an all-new Boston Common. Look out, Jack Boyd's the new janitor. And on News Radio, check it out. It's special guest James Caan, and everyone wants to make a good impression.
Do you want a vitamin?
Good luck. And on Men Behaving Badly, an episode so shocking, so tasteless. They don't eat that. Ew. All new must-see TV, NBC Wednesday.
Turn it up. Way up.
FM 99 means rock. This is FM 99 music. This is rock. This is FM 99.
If it's rock, it's FM 99.
I was looking for an onion, a really big onion, a blooming onion as big as your head. One bite of that onion and bam, you were hooked. I mean, you want to have more and more, and you think about them, you dream about them, you just got to have them. And you can't stop, and you go anywhere, and those spices, oh yeah, I'm telling you, I was consumed by that onion. And that onion was consumed by me.
It's easy to get a bloomin' onion. Get to Outback Steakhouse. No rules, just right.
How's about a nice juicy steak to go with that bloomin' onion?
Steak? Hey, why didn't I think of that? I love steak. Big, juicy.
A high-tech war on drugs, Monday at 6.
This is the Domino's Pizza NFL on NBC Halftime Report, brought to you by Domino's Pizza. For hot and wow, call Domino's. Now.
Welcome back, everyone. The second half of our doubleheader features a pair of games. Many of you will see Miami at Houston. The Dolphins are 5-5, the Oilers 6-4. Very important game in the AFC playoff picture. With a quick preview, we go to Tom Hammond and Bob Trumpy. Gentlemen.
All right, Greg, thank you very much. And this game is a homecoming for Miami coach Jimmy Johnson. He grew up in Port Arthur, Texas, about 100 miles from here. All the hair in place even then. His parents and some 30 family members will be at the game today. And here he is at Thomas Jefferson High School. Nice stance, Jimmy. And he told us yesterday that the biggest influence on his coaching style occurred there in high school under the influence of Clarence Buckshot Underwood, who had been an assistant coach to Bear Bryant at Kentucky. Meanwhile, for the Dolphins, wins have been few and far between here in Houston. In fact, the last time they won here, 1983, Dan Marino's rookie year. Here hitting Matt Moore for the touchdown as the Dolphins went on to win, but they haven't won in Houston since 1983. One thing different for the Dolphins this season, though, it's not just Marino. Jimmy Johnson has put some balance in their offense with a running game.
Yeah, and Tom, when we talked to Jimmy Johnson in the preseason, he said, we're going to commit to the run. Yesterday when we talked to him, he said, we're now stubborn about the run. And, in fact, it's worked. If you look at this graphic, in 6 games this year, they have rushed more times than passed, and they've won 5 of them. So he's got a nice mix of running backs, and they threaten the line of scrimmage. It's not just on Dan Marino's shoulders anymore.
Tough assignment today, though, because they face in the Houston Oilers defense the best run-stopping defense in the NFL. So Miami, for balance today, will have to face a tough defensive unit. 2 playoff contenders, the Oilers and the Dolphins, coming up later. Greg?
All right, guys, thank you very much. Now, some of you will see Baltimore at San Francisco. The Niners are 7-3, the Ravens just 3-7. Marv Albert and Sam Weiss join us from San Francisco.
Thank you, Greg. And it is a wet day here in San Francisco. The rain falling, the forecast calling for heavy rain right throughout the day. So, Sam, the 49ers hoping that Elvis Grbac is a mudder. He is starting for the injured Steve Young.
Well, you know, most quarterbacks play better when they start because they practice all week with that starting unit. And Elvis's stats bear that out. He's 5-3 lifetime as a starter, well below 49ers standards, but he gets a chance today to prove that he's the quarterback of the future. But today, he does it in the mud.
And the Baltimore Ravens come in with a record of 3-7. Now, you look back over the last 6 games, they've averaged close to 30 points a game, but they've lost 5 of those 6. So Vinny Testaverde has done his job, but the Ravens are still struggling.
Well, in part because they're the 28th ranked defense in the National Football League, and in part they are that because of the injuries to their defensive unit. 10 of their 11 original starters on defense have not survived the 96 season. Only Stephon Moore has. But the Baltimore team stayed in ball games because of their explosive offense and Vinny Testaverde having the best year of his career.
Now, how is this for motivation? Posted up right throughout the 49er locker room is this: a sharp reminder concerning AFC domination over the NFC this season by the margin of 25-15. The poster reads, 25-15 hasn't even been close.
Marv, I want to know where you got this, and I don't want you to lie to me.
Well, I happened to be in the restroom at the 49er locker room. It was on, on the
Once
mirror.
again, I asked the wrong question. Back to you, Greg.
Gentlemen, thank you very much. Good doubleheader coming up at 4 o'clock Eastern Time. Our NFL and NBC halftime activities continue.
Tuesday on an all-new Mad About You. Hey, Kevin Bacon and Carol Burnett's back. Uh-oh, the big baby secret's out. How long have you known? 3 months. Well, at least she's taking it well. Then, on an all-new Something So Right, a shocking discovery in Will's room.
Hello.
And on an all-new Frasier, will Niles finally declare his love for Daphne?
I'm completely calm about it.
Then, on an all-new Caroline, what's up with Annie?
Tonight, it's Manny.
What? All-new NBC Tuesday.
No other 93 octane quenches your car's thirst better than Exxon 93 Supreme. Put a tiger in your tank.
Sounds like someone forgot to fill up with Exxon 93 Supreme.
Put a tiger in your tank.
It's a test you can't afford to fail. Wednesday at 11.